and welcome to Cooking with Chef Milan. This episode we'll be making biscotti, more formally known as biscotti di Prato, because it was made in the Italian city of Prato. And biscotti comes from the medieval Latin word biscottus, which means twice baked. Over 2,000 years ago, Pliny the Elder, an ancient Roman philosopher, stated that after centuries, this stuff would be edible, which is kind of weird when you think about it. It's like we could be eating Washington's biscotti if he had that stuff. Biscotti was used in long journeys and wars, and it was a staple of the Roman legions. So in this recipe, we're going to be using 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons ground ginger, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon baking powder, and ½ teaspoon baking soda, 2 large eggs, 1/3 cup molasses, 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar packed, and ½ cup of melted butter. Wait. 1/2 cup of melted. 1/2 cup of melted butter. Poof! Whoa, it's melted. That's really cool. And the glaze, I'll make that later. We're going to start by washing our hands. Remember to sing the alphabet song, and if possible, get as many people to sing it with you. Is it? Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Go.
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time won't you sing with me? We're going to dry our hands off. First, you want to heat your oven to 375 degrees. Then, we're going to line your baking sheet with parchment paper or wax paper. How do you open this? Having some technical difficulties. Please stand by. Whatever. Just cut yourself a piece of wax paper and use that to line your baking sheet. Now, put this aside. In a medium mixing bowl, mix together your flour and ginger, cinnamon, baking powder, and baking soda. Using my magical wooden spoon. Until evenly combined. I'm going to set this aside. Then in this large mixing bowl, I'm going to whisk together 2 eggs, dark brown sugar,
Butter,
molasses,
That's why you have clean hands.
This is why I have clean hands. Ew. I really don't like the smell of molasses. But it makes gingerbread biscotti taste really good. I may have forgotten to mention that we're not making any biscotti. We're making gingerbread biscotti. That's what all the ginger's for. I already put that in there. And I just want to whisk together the melted butter.
Yeah, use the same spatula to wipe that out. And then
remember, you want to use every last drop of everything that you've measured out, because if you don't use it, then goes to waste, and doesn't taste as good.
Those could probably go down into the sink.
Magically vanish.
That, once you wipe it off your finger, you might want to wash your hands again to get that off your finger.
Yeah, I don't like molasses. It smells bad.
Also could make a mess as you're working if you don't wipe it off or wash it off your finger.
Now, I'd like to ask my friend, where should I put this?
You can put it in the measuring
I'm going to ask my friend to join me in an encore of the ABC song, alphabet song, whatever you want to call it. Washing my hands, but there's no molasses. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, F, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time won't you sing with me? These dirty dishes are here to be cleaned later. So always remember to clean up after yourself, because when you go to college, your mommy and your daddy will not be able to do that for you. And so now I use my whisk to whisk. For the really advanced people,
keep it down low.
Put it between your palms and rub briskly back and forth. It's like imitating one of those electric whiskers. Whiskers. And that's whisked enough. Next step is to add the flour spice mixture in and stir it with your magical wooden spoon. If you do not have a magical wooden spoon, a normal wooden spoon will also work. But magical wooden spoons are more awesomer. They just are. They're magic. I'm gonna mix this until you get a nice batter.
How do you know when it's mixed?
You know when it's mixed, when all the wet stuff is dry and all the dry stuff is wet. And vice versa. Some slight spillage may occur, but try to minimize that by not stirring with excessive force. This recipe was printed out and first used 6 years and 2 days ago.
And
it's from that'smyhome.com/hannah/cookies/gingerbr.htm. So if you want that recipe, you can go there and check it out. But I'm using some slight modifications, like not using corn syrup, and my butter was salted. Now, in the magic of YouTube, we're going to let it rest for 3 minutes.
Can't see your hands.
We're going to let it rest for 3 minutes. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the snap of a finger. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Shut up. Stop it. Stop. Now that the 3 minutes are up, I'm going to spoon batter into my pan. I'll try not to make a mess with everything. So I am spooning this batter into this pan into 2 10 by 2.5 inch loaves. Here we go.
Sorry. You gotta put the bowl down.
It's not working.
It's working. It's working.
Is it supposed to be like this?
It's remember, it's 10 and a half, so don't make it any longer than that.
How big's 10 and a half?
8 and a half by 11. It's about the size of an 8 and a half by 11 inch sheet. It's 1 inch shorter.
Now it's time to get out this scooper thingy.
Yeah, you really do want
to help you.
I would scrape it off the spoon.
Scrape the batter off the bowl.
Careful, you don't want to be waving that.
And into the pan.
Yeah. Make them the same size.
Okie dokie.
Extend to that in that direction because you got more pan over there.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Excuse me. I'm not always the best at that. Making sense. Stay away from mistletoe. It's infested with narwhals. I'm not sure what they do, but just they're infested with narwhals. So stay away. Pro tip: if you don't want to get sick, don't eat the batter because it has raw egg in it, and you'll get like nasty diseases and stuff from eating raw eggs.
Salmonella is possible.
Salmonella is very bad. Now that that's done, I'm going to make the egg wash. Combine 1 large egg. Hands are sticky.
How do you fix that?
Hand washing time! Now it's time for another round of washing because my hands are still sticky. Yada da, yada da. If you want to be featured in singing the alphabet, send a song of you singing the alphabet to my email address, which you don't know. If you don't know my email address, then share me a video privately on YouTube. Now, combine 1/2 of a teaspoon of water with 1 large egg. That really made a difference.
You need to
beat
combine them.
egg and water. Die, egg, die!
Yeah, it's recommended doing this in a cup because it's higher than this bowl, so you just have to be careful not to splash it too much.
Unfortunately, I ran out of these little bowls. They're like the ones that they use in cooking shows where everything's all pre-prepared and they just like dump it in. I always wanted to use those. Oh, and if I haven't already, I would like to wish each and every one of you a happy non-denominational holiday because that's the politically correct way to say happy winter, except maybe some people might be offended by saying happy winter. So now, if stuff falls, perfectly normal. Those kind of measuring cups aren't meant to hold like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different things. It's too small. So now I'm using my fingers, my whole hand probably. I'm going to brush each loaf with this egg wash stuff. This feels really weird, but somehow this is making me happy. Now,
hold on, I'm zooming out.
I'm going to wash my hands one more time, at least.
Maybe the last time you need to do it for health reasons.
There's like these small black dots. I think it was cinnamon or some other spice. I'm going to dry my hands. And now I'm going to combine 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon.
What are you going to do with that, Milan? Or shall I not use that name?
No, it's fine.
Where's that going to go?
This is going to be sprinkled on top of the loaves to make them look all nice and yummy.
It improves the taste.
Yes.
It makes them sweeter on the outside.
Yummy. I'm going to eat that later.
You could use a spoon to sprinkle it. You could even use that spoon if you want.
Oh, I can put it in the egg one. Yeah. Wrong container. Never mind, I'm not going to eat like that spoon. Just put it in the eggy
Use this
bowl.
Yeah. Spoon works well too for that.
Yeah, this is fun. It's more funner to shake it on.
Yeah. But you want to spread it more evenly. Why don't you grab a spoon?
It's very evenly spread. Except on the top.
Yeah. Well, you also don't want it just in the center. You want it on the edges. Eh?
It's on the edges too.
So, Milan, how many times have you made this recipe?
This is my first time making this all by myself. So
Might that explain why your dad is trying to get
edible.
you? It'll be fine, but I'm...
That's why you hear that mysterious voice in the background. That's my daddy. He's the more expert on this. His brother is a biscotti factory person. Around this time of the year, makes it for everybody.
You know, when you were smoothing, you could have pushed that lump into the recipe.
I don't want to push it. It's like a mini biscotti.
Well, it's going to end up burnt.
Oh.
And the reason why you use
Mini
the spoon
burnt biscotti
is so that you don't have a huge clump of sugar there and then less sugar everywhere else. And also with the spoon, you kind of shake it left and right, so it's not just in the center. Left and right. See, yeah, here, I'll zoom in. So, this is how you could put the sugar if you wanted it.
I'm going to concentrate on the center.
Yeah. But this is not bad.
It's edible. It still looks yummy.
Yes. This is
now. I will open the oven of doom. Put this in my bare hand.
And you're baking that for how long?
Now I'm going to bake this for 20 to 25 minutes.
Why is it a good idea to use a timer?
It's a good idea to use a timer so you don't overcook it or undercook it or make it raw or make it blow up. That'd be cool to watch though. But it would be not fun to clean up or eat. Thank you. Be quiet. You're disturbing my music. Good.
You should probably.
Otherwise, take it out.
Yeah.
Or turn it off. Or do both.
Well, what you were.
And put my violin down too.
Does it spring back?
I don't know. I haven't touched it. It swings.
That was 20 minutes?
That was 20 minutes.
Okay, do we want to poke it or just say it?
I poked it.
No, I mean, do you want to insert something in?
No, I don't. I don't want to stab it.
Okay, now it says...
Stabbing stuff's mean. While our biscotti is cooling, got fused together. Whatever, as our biscotti is cooling completely, I will continue that piece that the oven timer so rudely interrupted. Yeah. Welcome back. I am washing my hands again. Now I know my ABCs next time when you sing with me.
Be a much longer song than Nancy, I guess.
Now I dry my hands. After biscotti has baked for the first time, you may notice that some things aren't as you expected. They're rather fat, not that tall, they're stuck together. But don't worry, that's perfectly normal. I'm going to use this bread knife to separate them.
And he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now Dasher.
Now I want to carefully peel the first loaf off of the wax
I would
paper.
actually lift the whole thing up and then peel the wax paper off the loaf.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Otherwise
I'm
you're
going to
gonna
carefully peel the wax paper off of the first.
Otherwise that will happen. That's why I told you.
Otherwise this will happen. That's not good. Well, this is our first slice of biscotti. We are experiencing some slight technical difficulties. Please just kind of hang tight and...
Lift the whole thing up.
How?
You want me to help you?
Yeah.
I'll have to wash my hands. Wait, I have to put on my apron.
Please wait, we're getting some biscotti experts so that they don't completely mess this up.
Yeah. After all this, you don't really want to throw it away.
Yeah.
So put it on. Bless you.
It's cooked, so it looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks
it'll be
bad.
fine. It'll be fine. You can cut it on that bias. I mean, you've got the angle, right?
I got the angle right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm doing this. I'm singing in my head. Really. Okay, so.
Yeah. Said to lift the whole thing up. I don't really understand that.
Yeah, that's okay. So basically, yeah, when it cooks, the paper kind of sticks to it like it did. And that's normal. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of invert it on top of the board and then peel it away. All right?
Oh.
So peel.
Peel.
Yeah, that way you're not stressing out the
I see.
pastry. It's very easy. But these kind of things you only learn after you've messed it up several times. So.
And rip the biscotti, or rip the paper.
Don't worry about ripping the paper. You can always grab the little piece that's still left on there and peel it away. So you notice how you've got like some really, really tiny pieces here. You probably want to make sure you get those off. Or you have what we call biscotti surprise.
If you get the end piece, or the alligator piece,
with the wax paper on it.
you get a little bit of wax paper on it. If you get that piece, then you're the winner, and you get to make more biscotti for everybody. Or people get to make more biscotti for you because now you're sick. not that thick.
Sorry.
Now,
Yeah, you can put one of them to the side, maybe, or.
I'm going to put one of the loaves back here.
That piece that's on the side can just be a separate piece. Yep. But
Now,
this,
using the width.
that could be two pieces.
Now, using the width of the knife, I'm going to slice pieces of biscotti on the diagonal so it looks fancy. Now, still using parchment paper or no?
No. No.
Not using parchment paper or wax paper.
Have you thought of whether or not you want to slice it right into the trash? But you'll have to wash your hands.
Throw this away and wash your hands because trash cans unsanitary.
Have you thought of whether or not you want to
A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
really
H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time won't you sing with me?
Next time won't you sing with me?
really going short biscotti are fine. Really long biscotti are just really long.
Now, some of these pieces are pretty long. You're just going to take your knife and you're going to dry your hands once more so that they're really dry, not just pretending to be dry, actually a little damp in the corners of your fingers.
Like the
Cut
yeah, about like that. Yeah.
some of the slices of biscotti in half so that they're easier to eat and stuff like that. Now I'm going to stand these pieces on the edge so the sliced side is facing up and down like this. And now I'm going to repeat that process of slicing and standing on edge for the second loaf of biscotti. After that's finished and you made a big mess on your cutting board, you're going to heat your oven to 170 degrees or the lowest baking temperature and stick it in. I'll rejoin you after these messages. After you've got your hat back and after those messages are finished, you're now ready to open the oven of doom. Put the towel on the counter. Use 2 oven mitts. Put your biscotti in the oven for the second baking. In this second baking, take place for 30 to 40 minutes. Okay.
Don't get the pot holders. It shouldn't be that hot. You actually turn the heat off if you want. Or you can wait for it to go off and turn it off.
Now that the timer has gone off, I'm going to take it out of the oven and turn the heat off before I do that. I don't want to burn myself. You want to wait for this to cool completely before you store it, but I'm going to just take a little quarter piece here and see how bad or good this is. That's some good biscotti.